Alright everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be covering last week's price action. I did a weekly review in my Discord, and there's also 2 giveaways going on, so link in the description. I did a weekly review, covered price action, covered my losses, covered my wins, covered how I pretty much traded the last week. Hear me say in the video, I pretty much had a long bias, and we pretty much just went lower the whole week. So you'll see how I, pretty much combated that, where I was able to find entries, how I found entries, what time I was able to find those entries as well. Pretty much everything about why, I traded last week, to give you guys a little bit of insight. Without any further ado though, we're going to get straight into it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you reminding me, Ethan. Yeah, so it's recorded. I'm not going to re-say all of that, but yeah, even though, kind of offsides, I wanted to be long. It's kind of just the syndrome and us being bullish for however many months. This is the first actually good, 2-3 weeks in a row that we've moved downwards. Compared to we'll get 1-2 good weeks, one good week, one good week here. So I'm fine with being slow to the short party, right? Because if we want to move downside, right, we have 2 equal lows here. And they're not super equal, but relative equal, right? Into even, some more low resistance. You can even, I think there was 1, maybe 2 I sent to the paid section this week that got railed. And I mean, that happens even with a normal week. When you're on sides, that could easily happen. So anyway, continuing, right, we're gonna be talking about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Especially, Tuesday was a pretty decent day. We had put this original low in, and I entered just inside of, just somewhere inside the order block. I'm not gonna be oh, just somewhere, but let's get this pulled back. And what I was mainly seeing is how I tell you guys a lot. Right, we have a fair value gap here. We also have big displacement. But what is sus up here is just all these equal highs. This is the same thing I kind of came into Friday with. Then you'll guys see where I longed Friday, right? With Asia just, just too many equal highs. London, too many equal highs. Yeah, I get it. I can see us souping out that, quote unquote souping. But every good soup I've ever tried to show, right? We leave a big ass fair value gap. We even leave, 1 or 2. And yeah, I get it. You can kind of see this. But I'm pretty sure, I showed a couple longs inside of here. Right, we're just taking out the range and we rode it to the range high, and even was able to hold through the big weird 12 a.m. candle. So even just in simplicity, right, buying in a fucking discount, but if you're fibbing out this range to this this high to this low, you're right. Oh, you don't touch a discount, but just sit out then, right? If you don't see a good OT entry, just sit out, especially a day like Monday. Where you had a Monday low, and it's just it even for a midweek reversal or a Tuesday low week, right? We need to soup out this Monday low. So not really a great rejection block trade there, but just more coming into 6, and using this fair value gap as a breakaway gap, and using this one to push us higher. Right, and I kind of like to do that when we have 3 fair value gaps, but in this situation we have 2. But imagine a lower one down here, right? 1, 2, 3, and you just leave the bottom one open. But I say that, but you can't pattern trade it. A lot of you guys, know even if I say a 3 candle model, you guys know not to trade a 3 candle model just like a pattern. Even with an IFEG, you guys know not to trade this IFEG like a pattern, but the load that we put in holds, right? 1, 2, 3, even, not a real good inverse, but, 3 candle model with the inverse, right? Like we always talk about. But that's not, where I entered, and that's not even where, I was oh, this is the best entry. And why is that? Like we've been talking about, right? Daily and weekly time frame is just, pretty butt ugly, right? We've got equal lows here, low resistance. So it, it's just pretty obvious that Tuesday, right, is gonna at least come below Monday and come into, I want to say, this order block, but it's not really it's not a beautiful order block. You can see here we moved internal, swept these lows out into the order block here, and then used it. But I'd rather be using a weekly time frame, these down closure candles, right? down closure candles act as roadblocks. And even right manipulating very hard lower to come into an OTE from this low to the high or that low to the high. But even there, I think we're just now tapping into a discount. So like I said, pretty easy just to be on the bearish side. But I can't remember what video it was, but somebody said it last night, right? The end of the trend is not your friend. That's why, like, if I'm trying to enter short, it's gonna be somewhere up here and wanting to hold. And then like looking at Tuesday, right? If I'm gonna want a long, it's gonna be somewhere in here, not as we're breaking this high and longing, here. And that even comes in with the time. If we look at 8:30, right? 8:30 had swept the range low. And we had even talked about this one in the group. If you took this, I wouldn't have even been like really that mad, right? 8:30 delivers, right? This wickless candle like we talked about. So if we, in conjunction use the 30-minute candles, bring them back, and on top of the hourly as well, right? You can see that 8 candle closes, right? So you can anticipate the closure back inside the range, and then like we looked at on the 30 minutes, right? As soon as that opened, you'd see the wick and the reaction, right? I wouldn't be mad if somebody took that into 8:30, right? And then went break even into 9. Really not a bad entry there. I didn't take that, but really, I mean, really not a bad entry. If we take a look into what I was thinking for 10, right? We're leaving equal lows. Just at this point, you can expect even like NFP this morning, right? Where we had that obvious data low, just an obvious draw on liquidity here, right? You're gonna want it to sweep and then come below, and just obvious accumulation, manipulation, then distribute. And with every manipulation, obvious manipulation, right? We like a good fair value gap, good displacement, so we can distribute just as quickly, right? And a lot of people are like, oh man, that doesn't make sense. But if you're I just think like be like a nerd and like really trying to envision, like if you're trying to manipulate somebody out of it, right? It's gonna happen quick as hell, and then it's gonna flip right back in the opposite direction, right? Because it's picking up orders right under the lows, and it's gonna push it right back higher. And that's pretty much what order pairing is, right? Pairing all the stops with the orders below slow, buy them up, and then it shoots back higher. Even here, right? We're using the 9 a.m. accumulate, manipulate into 10, right? We're 10 open lows, right? For our power at 3, and then distributes. But what do you see? An accumulation, holy shit, manipulation with fair value gaps. And then even on like the 5-minute, right? What do we see here as well? You can view this two type of ways, right? You can view this whole accumulation range or this whole thing right here. Okay? So for me personally, right, you can just put it like this, right? You see another displacement down, so you could technically be like, oh, like the second leg after we displaced, even breaking these lows, right? Breaking the lows there, and then using those previous up close candles to support price lower. So from there, right, we reaccumulate like we talked about. We're purging the low, purging the high, and then even sweep the high again, right? First tap, double tap, and then that delivers lower. So honestly, even, I mean, somebody short long to 8:30 and a shorting 9:30, you're a demon. But it's not like, that's not the trades of the day almost. But, if you took this anticipating the trade of the day, it's not like I'm going to look at you and be like, that's not good thinking here. And that's what I feel like a lot of you guys do, right? You'll catch a trade like this where, just pattern wise, right? I know it's not perfect high time frame. I know it's not. Okay, I understand that. But just pattern wise, right? We have this low that we're swooping out. First tap, double tap into 8:30. I mean, if somebody didn't take this, like this is a great trade right into 8:30, especially how the wicks act right in the halfway point of the candle, and it delivers a new higher high. And I'm telling you guys, like you'll most of the time get to deliver a new higher high taking these good soups like this. And yes, I know how we said there's not like a big obvious fair value gap here in our manipulation low time frame, but riding that high time frame manipulation, right? We see fair value gaps on the 15-minute and the even the 30-minute. But that's kind of when it comes into here, right? You see 930 and you see those red flags above the high. We're failing to close above, right? We're rejecting back inside the range. Even on the 5 minute, right? We souped the high, inverted, and then broke a lower low. At this point, right, you're stopped out break even. And honestly, I wouldn't be, you guys know me, I'm probably not taking this continuation short because, like I said, the India trend's not your friend. I'd rather just let it break this low. And if it wants to just keep falling, oh well, and what really warrants me like wanting to like short, uh, it we've gotten good closures, right? Gotten good closures, higher high, lower low, closing below, into the low resistance. It's really just going to take like a reaccumulation, good manipulation, and then a distribution, right? Just almost just an obvious market maker model here, right? We start reaccumulating, small candles lead into big candles, right? And our manipulation happens fast, somewhere into the order block, and then delivers lower. And even with this, right, I'll still be trying to long this, anticipating that it could not be the manipulation, right, because of just, how purely bullish we've been, right? And even on like weeks like this week, right, longing. The only week I've been hurt 1 week for real that I remember, I was like, damn, like I was like red for the week, and it was like this uh it was like the second or third. It was like two, not full 2 weeks, but it was like a good week and a half of just these down candles where, I was taking it a little bit. But also, I can see I start, like, there's no key levels inside of here, right? All of these should have held and delivered higher. So I'm not really, like, fucking longing these, blowing my account. Like, it's like, oh, I'll attempt a long, at my good times, right? You guys saw the 831. And then maybe a 10 attempt, right? 1 or 2 attempts a day inside of the hourly wick, and then delivering from there, right? How we see into this 30 minute, in the 15 minute, same exact thing, right? What do we see the 30 minute do? Right, the 30 minute closes, decent sized wick, 1-to-1 ratio, right? And that's not like you don't have to have a 1-to-1 ratio for a rejection block, right? It doesn't have to be 1-to-1 body to wick. But if you guys just take notes, like that's just some shit that's like in the YouTube videos, right? It just looks a lot better, right? That low holds, and even if it resoups, right? A lot of the times, if we have a good key level to the left, right? Say we have our order block over here, right? When you're blindly souping this, you're able to take, trade like this with your stop below that order block low instead of this low time frame low, because I know a lot of you guys are getting resouped. I see, guys. There's some stuff I'm trying to do on my end to be able to adapt that and try and teach it better to where you guys don't get that, because that's breaking your guys' confidence. And I'm having a lot of you guys, hit me in the DM, and it's like I'm getting resouped here, and it's like some of like partially I feel like it's my fault, right? Because I send these trades as low stop or small stop loss. You guys might feel forced to do that, or that's how you feel forced to catch the bottom. And it's like, no, like literally, like this is how you catch the bottom, right? Anticipating this order block from the left holds, and then delivering from there, right? We have the order block here, and I think I can't remember, it wasn't this time frame, but yeah, there was nothing on the hourly or like, mainly just the 4 hours sweeping these lows and then, right, anticipating that candle closure. 4 hour does look a little bit weird here with that 6 to 10, but that's one of those things where it's like when you see that 4 hour soup like that, and we're delivering through this 10 11, there's nothing other than my eyes that this 4 hour candle is going to close, and should distribute past these highs. NFP candle kind of fucked us today. It looked like this a little bit, especially with that 830. It just looked like it was going to run higher. But then the 4 hour, Friday was sloppy. But anyway, right, then this delivers, yeah, pretty smoothly. This was super futile resistant, right? Bearish market, but we're catching these, right? Using timing, right? Using hard displacement past our lows and counting our accumulations as we see it. Right, another reason why 830 wasn't as good is because you only have, right, you one accumulation, then you're just big break lower. How you guys seeing every single one of my trades? Like, it's like every single one of them, right? You have your first leg accumulation, or sorry, first leg accumulation, second leg accumulation, and then into your smart money reversal. And that's what I was saying here is, right, you can view this as one, but I know this is where your smart money occurs. So, you know, you have this low time frame fractal model here, right? Reaccumulates, manipulates, distributes, we break the low, reaccumulate. Right, it's kind of sloppy, but that's why I like to use the larger ones and just, you know, make it easier on your guys' eyes. Because I know, like, fractalizing the market maker models is a little bit harder, right? We have this, we even have this fucking, you know, we have this sell model into a buy model, right back into a sell model, right? That, like, that low time frame shit's really hard to, like, be like, okay, I'm flipping long. You don't want to do that, right? See me, I didn't short any of this. I just waited for my time to attack. 830 made sense. I didn't take that, but if somebody did, I wouldn't be mad. Right, you see these 30 minutes, and that kind of goes into that 30 minute we showed here, right? Holding, pushing us higher, doing its thing. Even from here, right? Low to high, where do we fail to close and then reject off of? OT. So there's your great entry, right? You can even enter like this. And that's an 8, but even like this intermediate, right? That's a 5. Low resistance, low hanging low fruit for 1200 ticks. Fucking hit that in like 3, I don't know, less than an hour, right? And that's be a break even, could be a partial, right? And then you literally have nothing else to do but stare and just till you hit 2000 ticks, right? And that's like a difference, you know, that's a difference between, I see a lot of your guys' trades not being able to hold. And that's like kind of killing the RR, but at the same time, you know, some of the trades pay off where it's like, oh, you close early and then it comes to hit your break even. You know, you guys got to walk that fine line and be able to maneuver that. Can't hold your hand all the way through it, right? That's why a lot of you guys are killing it in the trial and error phase. Ethereal left, but he's one that I'll, you know, great in the trial and error phase. Even Lobster. Let's see. It's been a while since I've talked to New and Effect one-on-one, but I'm pretty sure he's, yeah, he's, oh yeah, actually I remember what we talked about last year. He's doing great as well. So, anyway, that kind of goes into Wednesday. I mean, Wednesday I was just offsides. Even from this soup, oh wait, am I retarded? Oh no, I know what it was. Okay, so yeah, from Wednesday, right? Remember talking about this and kind of saying, right, this PM low should act as protected into whatever, into the London session, Asia session. So obviously I'm not at the 6 p.m. fucking open longing like this. Like, you know, I took a short long here, and you know, my stop loss on this was like, I don't even remember. It might have been past that 5-minute low, especially with the gap, just trying to keep it small. And then break even at these equal highs, right? Because what do we have? You know, obvious 15-minute fair value gap, made a higher high, lower low here, right? And we have these up close candles that could act as a roadblock, and that's what it does. Breaks us lower, hits our break even. So from at that point, I just kind of wait till we hit an equilibrium, you know, at a good time. Equilibrium, but what do we notice? Right, equilibrium of the PM low, I said, would, you know, I wanted to see act as protected. And then coming into your new 4-hour candle open. That's the only reason I decently like this Asia long. You can also see just the buy model is fractalized really, really well. I get, you know, right? I get the long wick. It's weird. But yeah, you can see the soup even into, right, this accumulation leg, right? And just see where the body closed, right? Still accumulating. We came down lower, but the body closed, right? We're just accumulating. Right? Even this, you can do that there. I know that's a smart money reversal, right? I'm not really like stressing, you know, like that's how I've always done it, right? I get that that's the smart money reversal, but it's also a reaccumulation leg, right? Because we're inside the higher high and the low. So reaccumulating, break lower, reaccumulating, wow, fair value gap, displace lower, soup, and you know, even into this one, right? You're not really FOMOing because you're inside the wick, right? Terrible rejection block wick, right? Fucking long wick, super long. Usually gets filled, right? Right, this wick, you know, you guys might look at it and be like, oh, the PM low you said was protected, but there's a long wick down there, right? It's really not the longest wick in the world, right? You just have a fucking large candle. Even, right, previous down close candles to support price higher. Probably like a 15-minute BPR or something. Nah. Yeah, it just kind of looked weird. But yeah. So yeah, from there, I mean, you guys can kind of see that fractalized, even that 30-minute, right? Oh my god, 30-minute strikes again. Just flying through these. Put the dirt in the bag. You are gay. And then this is like another one of these things where, who was it? C6 kid. He was asking about these red flags, like, you know, how's the best way to spot them real time? Well, this is one of them, right? You see this move, internal, external here, right? Internal to the fair value gap from the order block, displaced, internal, external, right? We're doing what we need to, right? This doesn't scare us because we know it's an anticipated failure swing into OTE, right? We can understand that. Breaks higher, even again, right? Just from the new higher high to the low, right? Just reaccumulating with our protected low in mind, right? Just distorting and then delivering. And yeah, even soups out that low, right? But low holds, don't want to enter on these, right? I tell you guys all the time, I'm not entering a triple tap, first tap, double tap, not entering here, not entering here. Should be entered in here or in here. You know, and that point delivers. You're able to go break even from, you know, inside of your 10 trade where it opened, or even in that 930. And then on top of like the hourly, right? Where you know, you get that 3 candle model, right? Soups the low, closes back inside, and then you can catch, you know, the distribution candle if you don't want to trade the manipulation candle. That's why it's a 3 candle model. Accumulate, manipulate the low, distribute through both the manipulation and the accumulation. But it's fractal, right? Just for that. And then distorts, delivers. But that's literally what every fucking day looks like. That's how I trade, you know. Even here, right? What did we do? What did we do? We accumulated. We manipulated past the low. Don't think. Oh, even there. I guess I was kind of wild and long in that. Oh, nope. Previous day low SMT. I remember it. Wasn't like the most violent in the world, but I'm in long YM. Previous day low SMT. ES was not down there, I don't think. Or it might have been. Was it? No, it wasn't. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we even zoom this one in, right? Same shit. You guys are gonna get bored because it's literally the same shit over and over again. Go to the 1 minute. This one's not as beautiful, right? We do, I mean, like the short honestly was like one of the better ones. I'm not gonna lie, especially with the 4 hour. If you shorted like the data high or something, I fuck with that a lot more than the long today, honestly. But I still took this. Crazy how I can like, I don't know. Hindsight, I like the short more, but I don't know. I ended up taking the long. Anyway, let's get that out of there because I did end up getting stopped, just like a fucking idiot. But so yeah, you guys can probably see what kind of got me here. You know, at this point, manipulating right into 930. Just should have probably just expected that. I've always, I mean, we've even said that before. 913, 914, 915 can't be low or high a day. That is literally just bad execution on that. But anyway, right, we sweep it out, and I mean, I'm on the 15-second, right at open. This is what it looked like. So, yeah, bought right back in. Not really revenge trading, but I'll accept the double tap, right? The double tap. I'll enter here, stop below the low, and I don't think I close. Yeah, that was a good. I was gonna say this was so many ticks. Is able to get a good partial. I mean, just like 300 ticks. 2 micros, little $300 partial. And I think the rest ended up getting break even. But can't even remember what the fuck I did this morning. It's been a long day. I mainly have a headache for my teeth. Shit's so fucking annoying. Oh yeah, ES was a lot simpler. See. Either way, this one ate. I entered here on ES. Stop was a little bit lower because it was just micros. So like, you can have a stop like this, and it's still like $20. Not really, but it's like 60. Anyway, this like bank though, like this was pretty good. Like, I entered somewhere like here. I think it was a stop of 50 ticks. Might have been 25. I don't know. I'm not gonna be like real dramatic about that. But yeah, anyway, to the data high, and I think I ended up closing a little bit early. I think I closed right into 10. Yeah, I think I closed somewhere right around there. Can't remember, to be honest. It's past 5, so the fucking trade of 8 executions are gone. I could probably find one, but I mean, yeah. I don't know. One last thing, I guess. Data low. Right, that probably, I don't know. Just the timing on that's not good. I don't really like that. I don't like. I mean, you can kind of look at this and kind of see how that closed and everything into 9. What the fuck? I don't know. 9, 10, okay. Either way, it just didn't look good. Even on the 4-hour, right, longs here didn't look the best. But let's do this fuck all the way. Everything ended up playing out. Sweeping the data low, coming back inside the range. I don't know. I might have missed like a previous month low SMT or something. I know YM for the guys that we've been showing. I think it's still tripping out here. Still above that low that we were talking about. Right? We originally were looking inside this order block here, failed, and then next location is inside the order block. So low's still holding. Kind of comes into where we're obviously uncorrelated, which just time to put the fries in the bag. Quarter 1 price action, treating us absolutely right. I mean, giving us that dick. So yeah, anybody got any questions? Like 3, actually like 4 free people in here. Paid guys know how it is. Do I use a weekly profile? Of course. I just don't, it's not something I made a video on. Because it's like you can make a video on a weekly profile and nobody's gonna understand it. Because nobody's like actually gonna like see how I use it versus, like, bro, like I used to use the fucking like, just like all the like weekly profiles are the same. There's nothing that changes. It's like, bro, like even like a TGIF, like people will learn it and then only trade that. It's like their bread and butter. When it's like TGIF is like the hardest to trade. You're trading a reversal of a continuation week. Like, what the fuck? Like, you go, like, people trade, like, a good TGIF week is like you'll have a great Tuesday low of week, and then, like, I don't know, some people will skip Wednesday and Thursday just to trade Fridays. They look fucking stupid. And then when Friday expands, they're fucked. They're like, Friday can continue higher? No. Monday can be low of week? What do I anticipate for next week? I mean, you could probably know what I'm going to say. I mean, we have some equal highs. Lots of induced liquidity. Lots of accumulation ranges where we purge the low, purge the high, induce more liquidity into the low with a failure swing. Oh, induce more liquidity into the high. I think it's gonna look just how this did low time frame. Right? We fucking induced liquidity right at news. Just launch liquidity into the sky. Now we've got right orders above the high. So let's launch it down to the ground. Stop everybody else that's long. Bam. And now let's go long. Right? It's gonna look just like that. Even if like right it opens, just blast lower, keeps this low protected, I could see that. But I don't know. We could also just continue lower and just fuck me in the ass like we've been doing. I'll be fine with it. I mean, I kind of gave you guys my conditions for like really wanted to be bearish. But you know, I'm more fearing the end of not even the trend, right? Yeah, we're trending lower, but like, I mean, you gotta see what happened last time we did that. So it's just like, oh, like you just gotta wait. And then you kind of see me really being picky. And then you also see me trading micros. Like, come on. We're also moving a fuck ton, so it's like I don't even want to trade. Bro, I put a mini on YM this morning, and I like, you know, I kind of closed there. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man, that motherfucker was moving way too much, and like, it really wasn't that bad. Like, YM's I think the like least leveraged, but I just still it's just like for where my stop was, I just didn't feel comfortable like because you know I was in NQ and DS, so I gotta like put all the totals together and be like if I get stopped on all of them, this is how much I lose. So I can't push that too far. See, because you can say oh like a YM loss for whatever like I think it was 400. It's not that big, but when you add it on to an NQ loss and an ES, or micros obviously, but you add those losses together, it's gonna be a bit more. So it's like, oh, why don't you just trade one? But you guys know how I am. Like that shit was just clean this morning. I liked that. Sometimes my brain just is. Where was that? Yeah, right here. I literally traded this, bought, and then I just sold. Yeah, that was stupid as fuck. But I mean, that was literally like just $400 right there. Yeah, it was so quick. But yeah, you can also like this sell model too, like here as well. It's just pretty pertinent. But then it comes into how this looks over here. It's just it's okay to be wrong. You don't gotta fucking anticipate the whole week to be right. Like, still made money. Alright, let me not say it like that, right? You can still make money and be wrong, right? As a lot of you guys saw this week. Like, I was pretty dead wrong. That's fine. Like, a lot of people I respect were wrong. Like, it's okay. You can be wrong. What is the main time frame? Yeah. So, I mean, always the 4 hour, right? You can kind of see, like, just, like, obvious, like, even like this whole thing is accumulation range, right? But it's just fractalized. So it kind of goes into, like, oh, you can see these legs into, these legs into, this small accumulation, right? And it goes into, like, oh, you have your smart money reversal here, super the high. And then, this range here breaks lower, right? Low time frame accumulation, right? Manipulates the high IOFED there and then just displaces. I think honestly, even from this point, I should have just been like opening my eyes to us moving lower very quickly. But like an IOFED at Monday in the London session, right? No SMT. It's very unfortunate. I mean, yeah, I just very weird, like not really expected IOFED, especially in a bullish market, right? Nobody, like I'm not gonna be. I don't care if anybody's trading that. Like, I'm not going to. That's just when I know what I trade and, what I look for. Don't really care. Like, I don't care that I missed, like, damn near all of this. Sure. Like, I really don't give a fuck at all. Because, like, even, like, it's like, oh, yeah, like, oh, I can bottom tick. But it's not really all about that, right? I'm trying to catch good times, good trades. Like, just like the ones we showed this week, right? They all aligned even into last week. But some were better than others, some were harder to catch than others, and some even just got simply stopped out. So even if you like walking away the week at like a 60% win rate, right, that's when it kind of goes into, you know, how I start yapping about my RR, right? It just backpacks.